Hi everyone, Dennis Foley from Acoustic Fields. Today we're going to talk about room resonant frequency. I'm going to kind of use two dimensions and measurement systems to try to illustrate a point here. I hope I can succeed, but let's give it a go. Resonant frequency, oscillation of a system, room, at its natural and unforced resonance. Okay, what does that mean? Well, let's go a little further. Resonant occurs when a system is able to store and easily transfer energy between different storage modes. Kinetic, obviously, is the active, and potential is the passive sort of modes between energy. So think about it in terms of room, right? What pressure level, what amplitude level do you listen at in your room where everything sounds good? Okay, a good example of a resonant frequency balance is a pendulum. Swings this way, swings that way in equal motion. So the kinetic and the potential energy is balanced. There is a pressure range that your room works well in. There's a pressure range, a dB/SPL pressure range, where the frequency response of the room is the smoothest. And that's where it probably sounds the best to you, if you're a critical listener. Most systems have one resonant frequency. This is the denotation for that, but multiple harmonics. My God, you couldn't come up with a better definition for a room. One resonant frequency with multiple harmonics, right? Don't confuse it with the Schroeder frequency, which is the frequency at which wave energy and ray energy kind of cross or meet, where the room goes from managing pressure to reflections. It's about 200 cycles in most rooms. This is a little bit different. This is pressure. What pressure level does your room sound the best at? For those that are empirically oriented, you would want a flat frequency response, or as flat as you can get within your room based on room size, volume, usage, and treatment, right? So it's the pressure level where the frequency response is the most balanced. Remember the pendulum. It's that center point where it's going left and it's going right and it's staying right in the middle as a balance. So when we do our design parameters, our two-channel rooms, we kind of shoot for 80 to 85, sometimes 90 dB/SPL if the client is so prone to the higher pressure level. So we work with that range. And every range, every 2 or 3 dB/SPL requires a different treatment parameter. Usually the higher the pressure, the more low frequency management first. Not so much with middle and high frequency management. You're not going to add more diffusion because there's more pressure. You're not going to add more middle and high frequency management if there's more pressure. You might in some cases, depending on the genre of music that you listen to. But as a general rule, it's always the low frequency that's the big problem, right? It's the resonant frequency with the multiple harmonics. So when we're doing theaters, we're doing a little bit higher, 85, 95 dB/SPL. Our multiple channel theater system here, I was measuring the other day quickly, 115 peaks. So it handles a lot of energy. And its resolution is pretty good. I mean, it's not something you want to have sustained listening at, but the response curve doesn't change that much. And we'll do a series of videos on pressure and response curves so you can kind of see what's going on there. Surface area coverage, mount, rate, and level, standard stuff. You got to get enough. You got to get enough that has enough horsepower to deal with the pressure and the amplitude problems that you're going to listen at, right? Reverb distribution must be balanced throughout the room. I mean, this is a prerequisite for almost anything. It's definitely a prerequisite for using diffusion. People call me a lot of times, say, well, I have this problem, I want to use diffusion. Well, diffusion is not a technology to really solve that problem. And diffusion is a technology that will make your room sound worse and drain your bank account. So you have to be very, very careful here. Stay away with what you want. Focus on what the room needs. I tell people this all the time. It pisses some people off. I get it. But what you want doesn't matter. The room is going to do what it's going to do based on our laws of physics. It's best not to get upset. It's best to admit that the room is bigger than you are, has greater needs most of the time than you do, and address those needs using proper physical science management techniques. Keep the emotion out of it. The facts are always friendly. They're friendly because they're facts. There's so much nonsense in the world, misinformation and all that crap, to be honest with you. Stay focused on the hard science. The hard science will help you with your feelings because the hard science is based on facts. I always tell people, the room doesn't care what you want. It only cares what it needs. If you give it what it needs, it will give you what you want. So satisfy the physical problems that our current laws of physics tell us, room modes, reverberation, etc., 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 and then you'll get the enjoyment that you seek out of your room. So room resonant frequency, it's a roundabout way of trying to get you to understand that the pressure you put in the room has everything to do with the enjoyment level and the frequency response and the resolution of what you eventually hear. Room resonant frequency. Hope this helps. Thank you. Thank you for watching this video, and if you liked it, please give us a thumbs up. We also have a newsletter that you can subscribe to, so please do that because we offer special price discounts to only those on our newsletter. And then don't forget about our forum. We have started a forum on our own website where people ask questions, and I usually get a chance every couple of days to look at it. There's an interchange between people on the forum, and we'll give you real answers on a regular basis, so that'll help you. Thank you.